He's going to have a hard job getting the Leicester forwards to give him the ball, though, I think. Just the way that they've been scrummaging all the way through this match.
Remember, Saints without Joano Augustus, oh, it might be another yellow. Already down to 14, they're down to 13. And Mania Yoga, who has been under a pile of pressure, is now sin-binned. And Saints' issues get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this particular offence is a yellow card. You'd have a look at it now. I think they both go down together, but there's been so many warnings that it's the cumulative effect of what's gone on before. I think he's hard done by on that particular decision, but it's everything that's gone before it.
Unless they go for the corner, Oz, because Northampton up front will have to defend with just 6 players in the pack.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, is it? But strangely, Leicester short on the line out. No idea why they've done that, but we'll see.
No, Martin remains outside alongside Nandolo. And now Martin comes in to throw his weight behind this. Ollie Chesham with his back to the try line. Now they've been turned. Saints doing what they can. It's a desperate scrambling defence. Youngs. And Harry Wells, latest to give it a go. Got to be gaps somewhere. Burns seeking them out. So too Thokanasiga and Ashton! Well, you knew it was inevitable. All those tries at the start of his Union career here. Still scoring tries here. And the latest is a big one for Leicester.
Well, he'd moved himself over to the right wing, but it's the work rate. He's got himself over on the left, and I kind of guess after they're 2 forwards down, Leicester battering away, narrowing that defence yet again. And like they did in the first half, they know that 2 or 3 phases later, there's going to be space on the outside, and Ashton is the beneficiary.
Thokanasiga does really well. Look at his eyes. Any kid watching that, he just accelerates to Furbank on the outside. Furbank has to just stay just for a millisecond long enough that gives Ashton the ability to go around the outside. Really nice play from Thokanasiga. He holds on to it for the perfect amount of time.
May well have just picked up the debate going on amongst the officials at the moment, which I think is swirling around what we will do if there's a scrum next, as Burns misses the extra 2. Leicester ahead, but I think the talk is that should there be a scrum, Saints will have to go down to 12.
Yeah, they'll be uncontested, and one will have to drop off.
Yep. There we go, confirmed.
So they would bring on a front row replacement for Mania Yogan, but they'd have to sacrifice another player to do that. And they'd still somehow have to find 8 in the scrum. Anyway, Leicester ahead for the first time in a long, long time in the 250th East Midlands derby. Restart taken in by Liebenberg. Here's Cracknell. Saints down to 13 for another 3 minutes, and then we'll have Joano Augustus back with us. Furbank. Saints didn't make the most of moments against Irish here last weekend when they were playing against 12 players. What can they do themselves down to 13? Is there time for heroics? Do they have heroics in them? Nandolo. Scruffy kick. And now Proctor. And Furbank. If any side can find keys to find holes in a fully functioning defence.
It might have turned that over, Leicester. Furbank got himself isolated.
Youngs. And Cracknell and Nandolo, and he gets it away. And Gopeth and Youngs, and there are big holes in this Saints defence, and Gopeth goes, and he was looking for Youngs, but Leicester can go again. Oh, and they've been knocked on, on, and the try is given, and George Martin scored.
I want to review the actions here as well, please, for a deliberate knock-on.
Yeah, we've got a deliberate knock-on, but we need to check 6 wasn't in front.
Okay.
It's going to need some tidying up, this. It was loose ball. Martin thinks he's scored, and if he's had, that might be it for Leicester.
And if he hasn't, they're looking at a deliberate knock-on by Mitchell around the side, which if it was, it's a yellow card.
Yeah.
They could be down to 11 men if there's a scrum after this.
Okay, so we play it from the line break, please.
They may well card him anyway, regardless, because it was a deliberate knock-on.
So my own
here we go from the line break. Yeah, here we go.
Perfect,
Does well, Youngs, doesn't he? Sells the dummy, then gets this pass away. Cracknell, I think, has been really impressive since he's come on. And they just keep the ball alive. Northampton are stretched, they're down on numbers.
And on the floor as well.
They do
it's
really
just
well
keep rolling,
defensively on Moon to make the tackle.
Okay, so 12 going on to the player on the
12
floor.
on the top's illegal. And that's a deliberate knock-on.
Okay, so at the moment what I've got is 12 green is going in on the side. 9 has stopped the ball. So 9 will go into the bin, yellow card, deliberate knock-on.
Hang on, let's just see. I just want to see if 6
where was
is
George
onside.
Martin? Was he in front of the ball?
Yeah,
he's behind.
onside, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
go
we just need to check the
with
actions
the try.
of 9. Just wait.
Yeah.
The actions of 9. He's gone
Actions
very
are 9
wide.
now, okay, to see whether he plays the ball.
So we would have a penalty against 12, but we don't need to go there because we have the try. I'm just looking at the actions of 9 now. Because it looks like he comes quite wide with that arm. So Henry is a try. So he's not looking to tackle, he's targeting the ball. Can you just play it from the high and tight?
Yeah. Carl Dixon's absolutely
We've got
spot
one
on.
more angle, mate.
It's a definite yellow card.
Yeah, this is the best angle.
Yeah, he's targeting the ball there.
Okay, so it's a try, but the yellow card for 9 as well. Number 9!
Oh my goodness, it's hard to imagine how life as a Saint, as a player, as a coach and as a supporter can get any grimmer at the moment. They were ahead, but they've had 1 yellow card, 2 yellow cards, 3 yellow cards, and in the middle of all that, Leicester have scored 2 tries and they take the lead, and Saints will play now for the next couple of minutes down to a dozen.
Well, it's unravelled spectacularly, isn't it, for Northampton Saints, and it's a bonus point try as well. You've got to say, in the opening quarter, you'd never have called that, but credit Leicester, their scrum has absolutely destroyed Saints and any chance of them winning this game.
The last time they went down to 11 players, Nick, do you know when it was?
I'll let you tell us, Oz.
As you heard it as well. 3 years ago against Bristol. You don't see that very often, do you? Down to 11 players.
Well, this is a significant conversion, and he's slotted it. It's a 7-point score, and it's now an 8-point lead with 6 and a bit minutes to go, and Leicester, through brute force and power, have turned this around.
I think, Lol, you said it before the game, Lol, didn't you? I think Saints have won 2 out of their 11 games against sides or around them. And we saw that they've got huge amounts of talent and ability, but they end up just crumbling to the power game of the big teams. Yeah. Something that Dowson and Vesti will have to look at. They're going to make the next step this season. Not out of it yet.
No, set piece is the problem. It was their undoing, if you remember, in the semi-final as well. Yes, they blew lots of chances, but as the game wore on, Leicester's set piece got on top, and you can't win trophies and you can't win big games without a set piece, at least parity.
Furbank, what magic he needs to find now. That's nicely done, Furbank again. Doing what he can to link up with James Grayson. It's another Northampton penalty, and there's fury around us in the main stand here. Fury and frustration.
He just got himself isolated, and Leicester are going to go quickly. Why wouldn't you?
They've already got the bonus point score. They might be on for another here. Steward charging, stretching.
If he's got this down, it is a wonderful score. It's just whether he's got the pressure.
So on-field decision, try. On-field decision is try.
Christoph Ridley thinks he might have done.
On-field try.
looking at the ground.
Stuart Terridge will check.
Just tell me if he pushes it down or not.
It was nice when the player says, I don't know. But he really has to stretch for it. He rides the tackle. It's a really strong one from James.
No, he loses it.
Loses
no try.
So he just needed to turn where he's pushing down on the ball if there's any separation.
Separation, no pressure.
Yeah, he loses that.
No try.
I'll tell you what, though, I really like the look of Thockenasinger. Carried really well there into the tackle. He's still stayed on his feet through the tackle.
Was there a knock on in goal before?
Knock on in goal.
Goal line drop out, knock on in goal. Oh!
That's probably a result for Northampton. They don't want to scrum, that's for sure.
No. Okay. Just wait.
Joanna Augustus is back on. He served his time, so
Okay, time back on them, please.
Saints at least
When you're ready.
restored to 13. Mania Yogan and Alex Mitchell still under the yellow card sanction. And the restart snaffled by Wales.
It's a great take, great take.
Martin, this is the new man. Joe Taufetete, the USA hooker. Burns, Gopeth, Leicester again stretching. Saints increasingly thin fabric. Thockenasinger with the latest surge, and Ashton goes again, and Steward's there, and this time he scores. This match has unravelled horribly for Northampton, but it's going to be another few months where Leicester folk enjoy the garden fence conversations most.
And it just shows what a good side Leicester are. They've grown into this game, haven't they? And they've just got stronger and better as the game's gone on, all underpinned by their scrum. But this is a really well-worked try. Lovely little break, again, by Thockenasinger. He's looked really sharp. And then, how about that from Ashton? Does everything right there. Makes the little snipe down that short side, throws the dummy, and then gets his hands free. That is a really, really good offload. And given another opportunity, Stewart's not going to waste it. Has the strength to get over the line. And I tell you what, when Leicester play some rugby, they're a very, very good side.
They've worn them down, haven't they? The power of the pack has created the space out wide, and those guys have taken advantage. Ashton's little pick and go, bump on the tackle and Hutchinson, and then the offload around the corner is lovely. And this guy ends up back in almost the same position where he didn't score 30 seconds before.
Oh, and Burns with the conversion. Time for an early tea for those who live closest to this place. Tom Collins has come on for Tommy Freeman. Cracknell takes it.
Ball is out.
Here's Taufetete. Cracknell and Taufetete. Again, a couple of those Moneyball signings that Leicester have made over the summer that promise much. Liebenberg has been around for a few years now.
Penalty, play advantage.
A penalty, and Liebenberg, and Youngs is on hand. Oh, and Liebenberg goes on his own. If he'd have given it, you'd have had money on Youngs to score. However, Cracknell, no. Furbank put his body bravely in the way, but Leicester have half of the county away to the left-hand side, and Steward goes in, and they should call it off now. It's almost unfair on Saints. They're being pummeled on the ropes. More than that, they've been thrown out of the ring.
Well, it's another one for Stewart, isn't it? Probably the easiest of all of them. It's his hat-trick. He'll be buying the drinks on the bus or on the way home, and I'm sure there'll be one or two of those after Leicester. It's become a demolition job now. Everything Northampton do goes wrong, and conversely, Leicester are punishing them with another try. Emphatic.
He likes that corner. As you said, they just picked up the tempo. I'm sure when they watch that back on Monday, Ben Youngs will be giving Liebenberg a little bit of stick of the 2-on-1. He was under the posts. But just their ability to apply pressure late on in the game has been very impressive. It's the first time we've seen arguably Leicester's full-strength side this year before Visa and Montoya get back, but they've looked very good this afternoon.
Well, Leicester, on their last 2 visits to the Gardens, have now scored 96 points.
Yeah, so time for that player of the match. He was very close to it. He had a wonderful first half and got Leicester up and running. It's not often that a player scores a hat-trick and you still don't give him the player of the match, because Stewart has done that, but really the whole of this performance has been built on that man and the Leicester scrum. It's utterly demolished Northampton Saints. Dan Cole is our Gallagher player of the match.
The knock on.
And now Dingwall and Coles. There'll be an awful lot said about Leicester's power game and what they were doing in the first hour, but it set up that final 20 to really let loose, and they've scored some fabulous tries, and Saints might be getting one of their own late on here. No, it has been lost by Furbank, and the whistle in the end comes as charity to Northampton ears. That was horrible for them in the second half, but Leicester continue to thoroughly enjoy these East Midlands ding-dongs. They are absolutely top dogs in this part of the world once again, and the champions doing champions things, and how in that second period. They've taken Saints to the cleaners. Final score at the Gardens, Northampton 21, Leicester incredibly 41.